Welcome back to Ta-da 3D Printing.
Welcome back. So today is Wednesday, February 28th, and it is the last call for Prusa XLs. So if you have placed a pre-order at any time up until now, you would have been receiving an email that says it's either the final call or the last call for the Prusa XLs. So you have up until tomorrow, February 29th, to finalize your purchase, pay for it, decide the configuration, all of that to get in a queue. And after that, they will just be regular orders. There will no longer be a pre-order. So you guys know that I have two Prusa XLs. These were both day one orders. The single tool head I have had for almost a year now. And the 5 tool head I have had for about 4 months now. Both of these are fully assembled printers. I did also pre-order a third one before I received either of these. And the idea at the time was that this was going to be what I would replace all of my printers with. So by the time I got these, I figured I would also start needing, since there was such a delay, I would need a third one and on and on. So I've been receiving a lot of questions about whether they should finish their pre-order or maybe if someone should purchase this printer now that I've had these for a little while. And I don't want to give anybody advice because there's so many different configurations and so many different things that could make or break whether this is a good printer for you. But I will tell you what I'm doing. I will let you know what I'm doing. For my third printer, the XL that I have been waiting to make this decision, I'm going to pass. I'm not going to cancel my order. My pre-order. I don't know if that's going to completely cancel itself or if it's just going to get kicked back in the queue, but I'm not going to order another Prusa XL right now. And there's two main reasons for that. The first one is that I didn't completely understand the limitations of multicolor printing. The Prusa XL was the first multicolor printer that I ordered. It was not the first one that I received, but it was the first one that I ordered. And so I really thought, because I have these miniatures that are multicolor, that I would split up and print different colors on different machines and glue them all together. I really thought that the multicolor would be extremely efficient. I wouldn't have to glue things together. They would be more seamless. I wouldn't have to worry about the fit of things. And so I really thought that that was going to completely change my process in a good way. And now that I've had the Prusa XLs as well as other multicolor printers, I realize that it's not the magical solution that I was looking for. There's still a lot of limitations, and the waste is one factor, but the amount of time is really the big thing that I'm noticing. No matter how simple or complicated the print is, it seems like it's still much faster to split it up like I was. And sometimes it's efficient to combine them together, but it's not the magical solution that I was looking for. So that has kind of shifted my focus on multicolor in general a little bit. And then the second reason that I am going to not push through my third Prusa XL is because of my experience with the Prusa XLs. And again, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do or not to do. I'm just going to tell you my experience. And especially the Prusa XL 5 tool head, it's not what I was expecting. Whether that is because this particular one is quirky or a lemon, or if it's my own skill set that I don't know how to tune this, I don't know. It could be either. But I'm not getting the results from this that I was expecting. I've had issues with the tool heads not redocking. I've had issues with stringing. I've had issues with towers falling over. I've had issues with the filament color not printing. I've had issues where it just moves and crashes itself over and over again. So those are all things that make it tricky to print with, and that I've gotten to where I'm just printing more boring things. And you know, the point of this printer for me was to print my miniatures. It was not to print dragons. So, you know, I had to kind of readjust my expectations with this, but I find myself not using it as much, or not pushing the limits, not trying new things with it, because even just simple multicolor things, I've had the stringing and the crashing. So those two things together, not completely understanding multicolor's limitations and the reliability of the printers that I have, are the reasons that I'm not going to purchase a third one right now. If I was still on the fence and did not have one at all, I probably would try one. I probably would purchase one to try it out, because there's so much variation in what you're printing, how complicated, how many colors, how many materials, all of those things. You know, how tall is it? It seems like a lot of my prints that are shorter but big do good. And then when I start getting to that full 14-inch, that's when I start to have a lot more issues. So it's hard to say what you're printing, if it would work great for you. So I'm not in any way trying to tell you not to do it, but that is what I'm currently deciding, is I'm going to wait. And I'm really anxious to see what the next things will be. For these printers, it would be really nice to have just a few of those niceties. An integrated camera would be amazing. You can get a third-party camera. I'm using third-party cameras, but there's no sensors attached to that. If there's spaghetti, if there's clogs, if something falls over, there's no sort of notification or way for me to know. So unless I'm actually looking at my camera, my third-party camera all the time, I'm not going to notice if it senses an issue and pauses itself. Now, I will say there are some sensors on this that I do think are great. The filament sensor is great, that it pauses itself if it senses that it runs out of filament over here. But it doesn't notice if filament's not even being pushed through. So there's no sort of sensor that catches if it clogs and stops moving, because the sensor's still open here. The filament's opening the sensor. So it doesn't notice if it gets clogged, which I have had, and it doesn't notice if the color doesn't fire, which I have had. So those sensors, I think there's room for improvement, and I really would like to know more things, like automatically, you know, getting some kind of notification on my phone that there's an issue, so that it's not just sitting here paused because it sensed that it couldn't redock, but then, you know, it sits paused for 12 hours, and by the time I come back, I can't get rid of the line, or things have cooled enough that I can't save the print. I'm glad that it has sensors enough that it doesn't destroy itself. It doesn't knock, you know, tool heads into other tool heads, but it doesn't tell me that it's sitting here. So unless I'm actively watching it 24 hours a day, which is impossible, I do have that issue of the sensors. So I am really curious to see what's next. I'm definitely keeping these printers and going to continue to work with them, work on my own skills on what this printer needs, but I really don't think that I should have to fine-tune a printer of this price that much. That's not what I have expected from Prusa in the past. So that's the reason I'm going to hold off for now, but I really do want to hear from you guys. If you are finishing your pre-orders, if you're ready for another, or if you didn't place an order, if you're wanting to place the order now, or maybe you're getting more printers because you do like the Prusa XLs. And what are you printing that is working? Because I do see lots of comments of people that love their Prusa XLs. So it is a good fit for people. It may not be a good fit for me, and I'm still working on that. So that's why I'm holding off on anything more. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.